Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Thank you guys for coming to our coaches meeting. See a couple coaches shirts walking around, maybe one over here, but I've talked to a couple of you guys, and I know some of you are repeat coaches, so thank you guys for continuing your participation with our League I9 Sports here. And for those of you guys, who's new here, new coaches? All right, perfect. So this meeting is really about, for you guys, but also for the returning coaches. I'm a new program director in the area, so I want to kind of go over some of the things that we do a little bit differently, but still I9 Sports is the program that you know. We're recording this for people that can't make it tonight. We want to just make sure everybody's on the same page before the season gets started a week from Saturday. So just a quick overview of what we're going to be talking about the next 45-50 minutes. I'm going to introduce myself and some of the staff that's here tonight that's going to be working at Palm Valley. We'll talk about the difference between a coach and an assistant coach, and the big question that might be in your mind of I signed up to be an assistant coach, I'm listed as the only coach, so we'll go over that. We'll talk about the venue a little bit, show you the field setup, how many teams we have right now, and then just give a brief overview of the league, talk about the culture and how we're a little bit different from other organizations out there. And then we'll do a breakdown of the season, go week by week, and kind of give you guys an idea of what to expect each week. And then we'll get into coach expectations we have for you guys, along with some of the parent, volunteer parent communication that we expect from you as well. And at the very end, we'll do a Q&A. If you guys have questions, we can answer it here. Otherwise, if you have specific questions about the sport, we have a representative from T-ball, from soccer, for cheerleading. Our football instructor / official couldn't make it tonight, but if you have any questions, I could probably help you with that as well at the end. Cool. So before we get started, I have a little video. It's kind of a promo video that we put together. One of our site managers at one of the other locations has a hobby of doing some filmmaking stuff, so he put this one together.
Year now, and I like it because the practices are on the same day as the game. It's very organized, and you know what to expect time and time again, and season and season again.
Hi, my name is Brent. I coach iOS 10, which is basically 5-, 6-year-olds, 7-year-olds youth soccer. I9 is awesome because we really enjoy it just as parents, watching the kids really focus on themselves and us not necessarily having such a competitive spirit, but being more focused on just the kids enjoying themselves and having a good time.
Today's sportsmanship value for our medals is going to be about being a good teammate. Does anyone have a really quick example of being a good teammate? That's a good basketball example. What about in real life? What about being a good teammate? How about when you help your parents clean the kitchen? You're on a team in your family, right? So coaches and I are going to be looking for really good teammates today. That means I should see a ton of passes. Ton of good passes, tons of talking on offense and defense. Hey, I got my man. I got your man.
We've made a lot of great friends just through this community. We've got some lifelong friends now. We've got kids that are always wanting to be on the same team year after year, and I9 accommodates that. They allow us to be able to have the buddy system with the teams so that we can choose what teams we want to be on next year if we've played with other kids before, and it allows us to really create good relationships. I love I9. I'm going to be back next season. See ya.
1, 2, 3, hard work!
Give big group up. Come here. Come here, guys. Come on. I'm not gonna cry, but y'all gonna make me cry. Come here. Come here. Loud as we can. I-9 football on 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I-9 football!
All right, so hope you guys enjoyed that. Just gives you a little nice spirit of the league, what we kind of represent, kind of walks through some of the fun things we do over the season with our medals and, parent, tunnel at the end of the season as well. So I'm Aaron Finger. I'm the program director, area developer. I've been in I-9 Sports now for about 3.5 years. I started in, what was it, like July of 2013. My first season was out in North Phoenix. The winter of 2014. I have come from the film industry as my background. Spent 15 years in the Hollywood scene doing movies like Sin City, Tron, Thor. I was working in India for 2 years before I started I-9, working for DreamWorks Animation. The last movie I did was Penguins of Madagascar. So it was a fun career, fun ride, but those are my two boys in the picture there. Noah's 6 this year and Isaac's 3. So, it's just getting to be a lot. I was gone a lot, and DreamWorks wanted me to move to China at the time and to work on the Kung Fu Panda 3, but didn't want to move to China and was kind of burnt out of the industry. So decided to do something a little bit different. Get into a program, another business where I can raise my kids and they can kind of grow up through the program as well. So I've been enjoying it. It's been a lot of fun. I'm from Phoenix originally, so it's kind of nice, kind of giving back to the community and seeing a lot of familiar faces when I grew up and all know their kids now, and some of them playing in the league. So that's a lot of fun. So we have about 10 locations out like North Phoenix, Paradise Valley, Scottsdale, Glendale area, and the spring season, last spring, we had about 1,000 kids amongst all the locations. This fall season, over the summer, I purchased this Goodyear location as well as the Awatuki from the previous program director named Rob Anderson. He got too busy. He's got 2 boys that are in competitive basketball and wanted to follow their career a little bit as they're getting older and getting scouted by NBA and whatnot. So I was already in the business, and I felt like, adding a couple more locations, I'm already in it. It's, I love what I'm doing, so just expand the horizons a little bit. We're about 1,600 to 1,700 kids this season altogether, so keeping us pretty busy. Not looking to expand too much more, looking at maybe add one more location in Levine, and that sort of rounds out. So with I-9 Sports now, there's really just two owners in the Valley, myself and the guys that own like Chandler, Queen Creek, East Valley locations. So the difference between coach and assistant coach, I-9 doesn't really specify too much when you get your roster, whether you're assistant coach or coach. It just kind of lists you on there, which is kind of frustrating because we get a lot of questions about it. But I always like to explain it because I know it's a burning questions on a lot of your minds when you see I signed up to be an assistant coach, but I'm listed as the only coach. And so up until now, at least the programs I've been running out in North Phoenix area, we've only had an assistant coach option. There was never an opportunity to head coach. And the reason for that is because we had a lot of first-time people in the program. I think, out here, Rob's been in the business for about 7 or 8 years. So there's a lot of people that have played I-9 and are used to coaching. A lot of the other programs and leagues out here, that's all they have is head coaches. There really is no assistant coach. It's you're the coach or there's no coach. But we're starting to get a lot more people in the program that want to do their own thing, that want to put together their own practice plans and whatnot. And so we've allowed that sort of head coach button. And that's mainly, so if you sign up to be a head coach, we're expecting you to kind of run your own practice plans, work with your teams. If you guys sign up to be an assistant coach, we have a staff instructor for every sport at every location. So, this format of practice and game, we have our staff there. I only hire staff that's, played at a collegiate level or has coached before. So if you guys aren't comfortable coming up with your own practice plans, our instructor will be there helping you out through that. So that's their job on the field, to keep things organized. Obviously you're going to be working on the drills with your kids, but they're going to be coming up with the practice plans and doing all that work for you. There's no work to be done on your part throughout the week. It's pretty much you're there on the weekend to be with your kid, to work with some other kids on a team and have fun. That's pretty much the role there. So here's the venue. If you guys aren't familiar with it, this may look familiar for those of you guys that have played at Palm Valley before. Just a quick, update. I know in the past, if you guys have been with the program for a few seasons, they switched over to Friendship Park, and I understand why they did that now. It's because the field conditions at this school are not the best. I mean, I always like partnering with schools better than working with the local Parks and Rec, just because with the Parks and Recreation, you have to bid a bid on it. There's an allocation. You don't really know the allocation. I like to know that we're playing somewhere. We can guarantee it. We can put it on our schedule and feel confident that we're actually going to be playing there. Not having to wait till, did we get the field or did we not get the field? It's kind of hit and miss in my experience with that. So I think last fall they were at Palm Valley, so I decided let's give it another shot. I talked to the district already about making sure the sprinklers are not going on Friday night, changing the watering schedule so there's not standing water. There is a big issue with gophers. I'm just going to put it out there now so you guys are aware. We know about it. The school knows about it. They've been dealing with it for 10 years. And they said there's really not much they can do about it because they bomb the gophers. They go across to the golf course next door. They bomb over there and they keep bumping. It's just like a ping pong match is what they described it. So we're going to do our best every week before you guys get out there to make sure the field conditions are safe. There's no mounds. We're going to be, at least flattening out the dirt there and spreading it around. If there are holes, we're going to do our best to patch them up that are on the playing field. But I just want to let you know, first and foremost, that I care about the kids' experience. I care about the safety. So if it becomes too much of an issue and we have to look for another place and go back to Friendship Park, then we will. My first choice is really to stay with the school and partner with the school districts. I really enjoy working with the community and the schools, so I'm hoping we can make it work, and just know that we're going to do our best to try to make it as well as we can. So what do we have this season? We got 6 teams of soccer, 8 teams of flag football. We got cheerleading. We have 2 teams there, and 2 teams of t-ball. So once again, I know INI has been on this area for, I think, 3 years. I can't know exactly how long they've been on here, but all I know is they haven't done a great job of marketing before me. My intention for every program as we have is to get as many kids as possible. That makes the playing experience a lot more fun for the kids, more teams, and just, So I don't think many people in this area know about us. I spent the whole summer at the Cardinal Stadium at the Westgate. We had a tent there every Wednesday for the Westgate Wednesdays, just getting the word out as much as possible. But we're going to do our best to, partner with the schools and really get the word out about our program so we can keep growing it. So how are we different from other leagues? Well, INI Sports, that's what it stands for: innovation, imagination, interactive, integrity, and passion, inspired. It's 9 sort of values that the founder of the league came up with that kind of describe it. We're different from other organizations. These are our core values: fun, safety, convenience. It's equal playing time for all the kids. There's really no star quarterback and point guard, whatever. We like to have all the kids play equally, subbing them out, play multiple positions so they get to experience different things. Get a chance to swap out being goalie or playing quarterback. Just making sure everyone has a chance to touch the ball and score. We do stamps for our 3 and 4-year-olds that don't get our medals, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Safety, you guys all signed this parental pledge, and all the parents did as well. Basically refraining from that negative sideline behavior that makes kids want to drop out of sports. We want to keep them in sports as long as possible. The studies show 78% of kids drop out by the time of 12, just because it's too much pressure on them. It's just not fun anymore for them. So we like to have a lot of loud encouragement from the sidelines, but the key word is encouragement, not negative kind of downplaying things. We require mouth guards for flag football and our basketball programs, shin guards for soccer, just keep everything safe. We have first aid kits at the field as well. And then the convenience of our program, obviously we're all busy working parents. We're once a week practicing game. The only exception is one of our programs out in Ahwatukee that, for the past 7 years, they've grown out to like 30 teams. They have practices during the week because it's become super competitive over there. So we'll keep it the way it is right now with the practicing game, and as things grow, if it has to change, it will. But for right now, we're going to keep the practicing game format because I know that works for everyone's schedules. So before we get into the details of the season, I want to point out these 2 emails for you. You guys are going to get a couple emails throughout the week. We're big on communication. We really like to make sure you guys are in the know of everything going on and over-communicate, versus some leagues you have no idea if there's even a practice or a game when you show up in the field. So, I've heard all the different stories from people that come from like an NYS or some other league like that, where the coach just doesn't show up and the kids are scratching their heads saying, what are we doing? So we send out every Tuesday. You guys will get this next week. It's a bi-weekly practice plan. And so for you head coaches out there that have your own material, feel free to take a look at it, see what we have going on. You can use as much or as little as you want. But for the assistant coaches out there, take a look at these, download the practice plans. We have one for every sport. It's a 2-week kind of program, so there's sample drills and things like that. Stretching, all the rules are on here. So give those a read. I always tell even if you're an assistant coach, please print them out and kind of know what's going on. As I mentioned, we have a staff instructor for all of our sports, but life happens, as we know. Cars break down, things happen, people get sick, so we like to have you guys have the material. That way, in case one of our staff can't make it, I always try to find a filler. I do my best to make sure we're supporting you guys as much as possible, but worst case, we're just teaching fundamentals to the kids. It's all basic stuff. If you can read instructions, put together a chair or something, you can do any sport that we offer pretty much with a practice plan. So these will have practice plans for every sport. They'll have our rules on them. They'll have some sample, stretchings and warm-ups, and they'll also have our sportsmanship value topics, which is something that's, if you guys have played in the league before, you're probably familiar with. I'll just explain a little bit of the difference that we do on that one. So in the past, we've given the coaches the piece of paper, or you guys can download from here. And the first 3 to 5 minutes of the program, it was on the assistant coach to kind of sit the kids down and go over the lesson. But we found that over the last couple of years, this was not getting done too much. The coaches were doing them after the game. They were forgetting about them completely. So we decided going forward this season that that's going to be another role that our staff plays. So we're basically, program starts at 9 o'clock, your practice are at 8:30, whatever it is. 5 minutes later, we're going to blow the whistle, bring all the kids from that sport over, have them sit down in the grass. You guys can kind of stand behind the instructor on the side of them, it's a group thing, but the instructor will be delivering that sportsmanship topic to the kids. And you guys, since you've already know what we're talking about as well, feel free to chime in, ask examples, give some examples or ask some questions. We want this to be a collaboration between us, but we just want to also make sure that these sportsmanship value lessons get done before practice. That way, throughout the practice and throughout the game, you guys are reinforcing, showing respect, taking turns, being a good buddy, being a team player. All these values that are important week after week. So when these guys go out, so we start those on week 2. So the first one you see, you'll only see a week 2, but for weeks 3 and 4, you'll see a sportsmanship topic for 3 and 4. Just go ahead and download those and give it a read. The other one is our weekly newsletter. So this is probably new to you guys if you played in the league before. We do this for all of our locations. Essentially, we have if not 2 site manager staffs at our locations that will be going around, kind of taking pictures. They're the ones that are going to be checking you in and out. But you'll just see at the top there that image. If you click on that, it'll take you to our private Smart Mother account where you can see all the pictures that they took. You guys can't be out there with your phones taking pictures of yourself, so it's just another service that we provide for you guys. Get some cool shots of the kids playing, you guys coaching, so you can share those with your friends and family. It's a lot of fun. So you can click on the picture or the red box there, and that'll take you to the week. Every week we'll be sending this out on Wednesday morning. It'll show the parents what the sportsmanship value lesson that we're working on is, so they have an idea, and they can also, when Johnny comes home with the medal, and he doesn't know why he got this medal, they'll at least know why you got the medal. Oh, you got it for taking turns. Cool. So we're going to see you taking turns this week, right? So these are things that we can reinforce throughout the home, throughout the field, throughout life. We kind of repeat these lessons every season, maybe introduce a couple new ones here and there, but these are lessons for life for these kids. And then we'll have, important information like picture week, or if there's a lost and found item, we always take a picture of that and put it in the newsletter so people know if they lost something. Just more communication. All right, before, I forgot to introduce our staff, so before I do that, we'll move on. So Connor Fogg, he's our program director. He'll be working in between the Palm Valley location as well as the Alatuki location, kind of bouncing around. He's another version of me. If you guys have questions, you'll see his name in the emails as well as mine. So feel free if you have questions to shoot it to him or myself, and we'll get back to you, as soon as we can. Carrie, she's going to be one of our site managers over at Palm Valley. Anna Licia's over in the back there as well. She's another one of our site managers / flag football officials, so don't mess with her. She's got a mean whistle blowing her. We have Jacob, he's one of our soccer instructors, our lead soccer instructor that's going to be there. And then over here we have Hunter, who's going to be doing our T-ball. And then Eileen, she's over there with the little one. She's going to be doing our cheer program. So week 1 Jamboree, again, for those of you guys that played the league before, I'm not sure how they did it before, but done this a lot of times now, so we have a system pretty much dialed in. We don't have you check in at our canopy or anything. When you guys get to the field, you'll look for your sports sign. It'll be just like that, positioned on the field, high up there in front of your sports sign. You'll have your team number sign, so you guys all should have got your rosters at this point with the team number on it, right? Everybody good? Nods? Good? Everyone's got the roster? If you didn't, check your spam folder, check your junk. Let us know if you didn't get it. But you'll find your team number, so go ahead and just go directly to your sports sign. For your sports sign, you're going to find your coach's bag, which will also have your team number on it, so just go ahead and double check to make sure the sign and the team bag match up. Sometimes they get mixed up, so before you go in there, dig in, just make sure the labels match up. So a couple things you're going to want to pull out once you get to your coach's bag. First thing, if you're not wearing it already, you'll find your coach's shirt there. If you guys do need another size, you can always bring extras for different sizes there, so feel free to just come back to the canopy, swap it out. Next thing you'll find is your lanyard name tag. We like to have, just like our staff has a name tag, this way parents can recognize you, the kids, they can visually see your name and kind of repeat it, Coach Heather, whatever it is. So we'll have these on it. We used to give out whistles, but we don't do that anymore because it got a little obscene with a lot of whistles blowing out there. Then you're going to find your roster. So go ahead and take out your rosters at that time. If you guys need to use the restrooms to throw on your coach's shirt, you can feel free to do that. We ask you guys to arrive 30 minutes before an opening day. That's to just make sure you guys get acquainted with the field, have time to kind of go through your roster, put on your coach's shirt, and then we ask the parents to arrive 15 minutes before practice on opening day for the check-in process, so we don't, impede on the practice time. So along with your roster, you're going to find these parent info sheets here. So we like to have, as kids are checking in with you, just peel off one of these, hand it to the parents. It's just basically a quick overview of highlights of the important things throughout the season. And then you're going to find your player name tags. I'm not sure if they've done this in the past year before, but we just do this for opening day, so everyone can kind of introduce each other. You'll notice these little red stars on the name tag. Those indicate how many seasons a particular player has played with us. So that way, if he's got 1 star, he's brand new, doesn't really know much what's going on, versus 5 or 6 stars, has been in the program for a while. You can pay more attention to the brand new guy versus the guy that's gone through the program and knows what he's doing. So just a little indicator to help you guys kind of identify who's on your squad. And then obviously you'll find all your jerseys. They're going to be matched up with the jersey size, all labeled, on the bottom right-hand corner. So one thing that we recommend, ask you guys to do, you'll have some extra time if you do get there half an hour before. You guys can just lay out the jerseys. Go ahead and throw a name tag on the corresponding sizes. That way, when the kids check in, they already got their name tag on them. You can just hand them the jersey. It's ready to go. Don't worry about if we're navy or blue the first day, because we'll have that figured out for you already. Just go ahead and put the name tags on them. This is a smaller program at Palm Valley, so I'm not too concerned with taking in the jerseys. Some of the bigger programs where we have a lot more kids and teams, we try to tell them to wait till they have about 75% of the kids on the roster before they go start giving out the jerseys, and that's because when you're leaning down, going through the jersey, you might be blocking that team sign, you might not have your coach shirt on, the parents know where to find you. So it's just easier if you can't wait till you have the majority of the kids, you have plenty of time. Just take out the roster, check them off, leave the jerseys in there, and then you can hand them out when you head to the field. So for flag football, you'll either have a white or a black flag belt. The white corresponds to our extra small and small kids, just waist size, and then the black corresponds to the medium and large, extra large kids. If you're T-ball, you guys will have your T-ball hats in the bags ready to go for you. Instead of putting the name tags on the jerseys for the T-ball, we recommend just right on the bill of the hat. That way, these things get left behind when you're putting on your batting helmets. These things come off. You know whose they are. We also have Sharpies at our canopy, so we always recommend just putting the initials, of the player in the tag, because these things do get left behind. So yeah, just name tags on the bill. All right. So when you guys get all your kids behind you, we have you usually just walk out to your field, sit them down, and as you see over here, just huddle them up, put on their jerseys. We'd like to have you come up with 2 team names. Definitely the kids don't like to be called the TO2s, so that's kind of lame and boring. So have them come up with 2 names, their first choice, second choice. Lightning Dragons, Tiger Ninjas, Super Mario race cars, all kinds of fun stuff they can come up with. While you're doing that, our instructors are going to stick back. We're going to have the parents stick back just at that sports sign, and we're going to give all the parents just a brief overview, kind of a very mini version of this meeting, the 5 minutes to introduce themselves, talk about the program, some of the important dates, etc., ask any questions they might have. Then the instructors will kind of make their way back to the practice fields, and then you guys can start the practice. At the end of the day for week 2, we ask that you guys turn in the flag belts. There's no turn in your coaches' bags. Collect your flag football, collect all the flag belts in the bag. There's no need for you guys to take them. You're not doing practices outside, so we like to keep them at the canopy. That way, car breaks down on the way here, something happens, we have the flag belts there, and you don't have to stress about it. So we'll just leave them at the canopy for us. If you guys do have players that are not there the first day, we ask that you just go ahead and put the name tag on if you haven't already. Leave the jerseys in a bag, and then we'll just have them for week 2 or 3 whenever they show up at the canopy for them. So you don't have to worry about taking those home or contacting them. Just turn it back in at the canopy to us, and we'll take care of it. All right. So week 2 is when our sportsmanship lessons begin. We ask that you guys arrive 15 minutes before on weeks 2 through 7. As you can see, this gentleman coach here checking in at our canopy. We like to have you do that each week. When you guys check in at the canopy, we're going to give you guys your sportsmanship medals to award at the end of the game that day. We'll also help you keep track of those. So at the end of the game, as you can see in the lower picture, after you guys award these out, we like to send them back to our canopy and take a picture with our sportsmanship award sign. So we put these pictures on our Smug Monkey account site. That way you guys can share those as well. So when you send them over for the picture, we also will record their names down. That way we can help you keep track. If you got 10 players, it's hard to remember who you give them out for. We'll mark them off each week as you give them out, so that way on week 6, you know who's left to get the medal. So for the, as I mentioned before, for the 3 and 4-year-olds, we have it for T-ball, but we do for soccer this season. For those ones that don't get the medal, we have our stamp. It's the mystery secret stamp that takes away all the tears when they don't get the medal that day. So that way our instructors will have these. So after you guys have won the medal, we're expecting the meltdowns to come, but we're prepared with our stamp. We'll have our instructor come by and just stamp all the hands so they have something cool to look at. And we ask them always to blow on it so they're not reflecting their face and getting black ink all over them. They are washable, they will come off, but it just takes away the sting of not getting that medal that day. Cool, so as I mentioned again, sportsmanship topics, our instructors will be blowing that whistle, bringing all the kids in and going over those together. At the end of the game, we always like to have both teams kind of line up, players behind coach, right hand out, left hand out, good game, good game, good game. Do a, after the team sort of handshakes, bring them back, sit them down, talk about how we did today, played good, we worked on this during our practice, we'd like to see this next week. Great job everyone, the medals today is going to go to Jimmy. Put the medal on, everybody clap it up to Jimmy, and we always like to end the day with a team break, hands in, go Cardinals, whatever it is. So that's our kind of post-game wrap up. So also on week 2 this season is going to be our picture day. You guys might have noticed that in the emails. So we've been using a picture company called Portrait Effects. I think they've been shooting the Awatuki location for some time as well. So on week 1, you guys will also get your picture packets to hand out to the parents. So while you're handing those parent info sheets out, go ahead and give them one picture packet as well, one per player. So brothers and sisters on the team, they each need one. There's also a coach form in here. You guys, as part of the program, will get a free coach kid picture. You might be wondering, well, where's the team? Why are they just shooting one kid there? So that's kind of my background, the movie magic of green screens. They shoot all the kids individually. That way they're all looking the right direction, they're all smiling, no one's picking their nose or looking off screen. And at the end of the day, you're left with a nice team composite of all the kids together and the coach. So yeah, it's a nice team picture. In this picture they were shooting different times, so they're all not the same jersey color, but you guys can order the pictures online. The label should be up on week 1. If you guys order online, there's a free luggage tag, so you can recommend that. It makes the process a little bit faster when you guys order online, and just make sure you print out the receipt, and then you'll turn that in during picture day. The schedule may shift slightly on picture day just to get everybody coming in for the pictures. So week 3 is just a regular practicing game. Week 4 is our survey week, so I think it'll come between week 3 and week 4 since we're a 7-week season. This is a survey that is driven by our corporate office. All the participants of the program will get one of these. Basically asks the question, how would you rate us on a scale of 10? You may have gotten these from other companies out in the industry, but we like to be the green guys. Those are the 9s and 10s. We don't like to be the red guys. Those are the anything less than a 7. So we take the feedback serious. We try to do as much as we can. Obviously, again, with the field conditions, we're aware of it. We're going to do as much as we can there in our power. Things like the rain, weather, things like that we can't control. But the things that we can control, we'll do everything we can. I read through all the comments. Connor will be as well. If there's anything we can work on right away, let us know. We always like to say, don't wait until week 4 to let us know of a problem. If you see something week 1, week 2 that's bugging you, or you hear grumbling from a parent on the sideline or something like that, just let us know. I mean, it's just feedback, and we do whatever we can to make this the best program for you and your kids. and want to have you keep coming back for seasons to come. That's our goal, that's our objective, that's why we're out here. Provide the best youth sports experience beyond the game, as we say. Week 5, standard practicing game. Week 6 is our time to thank you guys for being here, for doing your job, doing your part out on the field on your own time. You're just volunteers, you're not getting paid for this. This is something you're doing out of the love of a game, the love for your kid, love for the sport, and we appreciate that. Our program would not run without the coaches. I mean, obviously we have staff as well as in our program, but really it's you guys creating these lasting impressions with the kids each and every week out there. You know, we could be just as well sitting on the sideline, sitting back in your lawn chair, but you're out on the field, shouting words of encouragement, giving high fives, and making memorable, lasting experiences with these kids. So, you know, we appreciate that. One of the things that we do as a thank you, you guys will be getting an email on this day with a little gift on there. So that's just our way of saying thank you. But we sent out an email to the parents so they know about Coach Appreciation Day. And, you know, at the very least, we ask a simple handshake. Just a thank you goes a long way. I know it means a lot. So. And then the Thursday before the last Saturday of the season, we'll be back here at the Peter Piper. We always have our end of season parties here. We used to do them on the Saturdays after the last game, but with all the birthday parties and stuff going on, it just got to be, you know, too long of a line to get the pizzas and whatnot. So we like to do it Thursday evening before. We usually have it from like 5 to 8. You guys can talk to your players on your team. They do a couple cool things. They have a like a coach team pack, you know, for like $44. It's 3 large, 1 topping pizzas. There's like a token deal, and then also all the players will be getting their MVP awards. So the Saturday before, we'll be handing you guys these coach packets. You guys can either, actually probably 2 weeks before, you guys can fill out the blue certificates there, bring them the next Saturday to hand them out, or if you know that your whole team's coming, a majority of them, you can just bring them all out here and distribute those on that Thursday before. They do a lot of fun games as well. It's not just, you know, here's 10 tokens, go play some games. The staff here at the Peter Piper will do an ice cream eating contest for the team that RSVPs. They'll do like a couple other fun games. We'll have some raffles and drawings for some free pizzas and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. We always do like a registration promotion. So if you guys are thinking about signing up for, you know, the winter or spring season, you want to save 20 bucks, that's a good way. We always do that at all these events. We like to encourage you guys to come back, and hopefully members of your team will come and they'll want to sign up with you as a coach again, and just make a fun, more experience before the last Saturday. So the final practice game, you guys would have noticed in that the video, all the kids running through that breakaway banner. That's one thing we do. You know, being from Hollywood, I try to like to have a Hollywood production ending, and so we like to gather all the parents up for that particular sport. We go sport by sport, make the biggest tunnel we can create for all the parents there. We've got our speaker out there. We do a little Eye of the Tiger, smoke machine, have the kids break through the banner. It's an awesome time. They love it. They always remember that moment. On the last week, instead of picking up your sportsmanship medals, you guys will all be getting participation medals for the program. So you'll have a bag full of these, you know, individually. We ask that you guys take the medal out of the wrapper. So the last game, instead of sitting them down and handing out the sportsmanship, you'll hand out the participation medals. So just take them out of the wrapper, have a little mini award ceremony right there on the field with your team. Call up the players one by one, everybody clap it up, put the medal on them, and go to the next one. So it's always a fun little mini celebration at the end. And you know, we might adjust the schedule slightly on that last day just to organize the banner break, but it's definitely worth it for the kids. They have a great time with it. All right, so we've talked quite a bit about different things throughout the presentation, but just to kind of recap some of the expectations. Wear your coach's shirt every week. You know, it really just makes you guys stand out on the field as the coach, the voice on the field. You know, our instructors will be wearing the staff shirts like this. You guys will be wearing the red coach's shirt. That way parents know kind of who's out there. There's always sort of that unofficial volunteer parent kind of coaching from the sidelines. We like to tell them to, hey, if you're interested in coaching, come sign up and become an official coach. Like, don't just sit in your chair and bark out orders. We expect the words of coaching to come from you guys, to come from the staff. That way the kids know who to look to. With the exception of like T-ball, you know, if parents want to be first baseman or third baseman and just kind of direct the kids to run and give them a high five, that's all cool, that's fun. But for football and soccer, you know, let the parents be on the sidelines. You guys will be out in the field helping out. Same with football. One of the big things, if you guys know you're going to be out a particular week, just let us know in advance. We also really appreciate you guys just calling the parents on your team to see if they can fill in for you. They don't need to fill out the volunteer application and go through the whole process, but they're just going to be covering for one day. If you know you're going to be out on October 1st or 8th or whatever it is, call the parents, say, hey, I'm going to be gone this week, I got a convention or whatever it is. Really appreciate it if you can just help me out. I'll give you guys the practice plan. We see what I'm doing out there. It's not, you know, brain surgery or anything like that. Very easy to do. So if you guys can do your part in finding a replacement from an existing parent on the team, that goes a long way. Worst case, our instructor will step in and kind of coach that team that day along with, you know, reffing the game as well. Showing good sportsmanship and respect. I mean, obviously we're teaching the kids that. It goes without saying that you guys should have that with each other, you know, as coaches, the staff, the players, the parents. Be the leaders, the role models, you know, out there. The equal playing time. Obviously T-ball, everyone bats in the lineup, but for soccer, flag football, there's more than, you know, 7 kids on the field. We're doing substitution. Make sure you're subbing out individually, you know, equally. We're going to have some sub charts that you can download on the first week practice plans. Go ahead and download it, fill in with your players' names, and just rotate them equally. You know, maybe after every 4 downs, you rotate, or however you guys want to do it, just as long as all the kids are getting equal playing time. Sportsmanship award medals, again, the third time we talk about it. Instructor's going to go over that. All you guys have to remember to do is pull that medal out at the end of the day after you guys do your team handshakes, and you know, just sit them down, award the medal, send the player back to the canopy so we can get a picture of it with our sign, and you know, we'll record those down. Starting the games on time, that's why we have our staff here as well. They'll be making sure the games and practices start on time, but just make sure to help us out with that, because we do have some, you know, teams coming in afterwards for the next one, so we want to just start and end on time every week. Talked about the post game wrapped up, shaking hands, you know, team break at the end, go Cardinals before you guys dismiss them for snacks. That way, just it's a good, nice group closure with the team before everyone just kind of goes on their own way. Make sure all the players on the team do get a sportsmanship medal. Again, we'll help you guys keep track of that, but if we have 10 players, by week 6, we like to have all those medals out, because week 7, they're going to get the participation medal. So again, we'll help you in some weeks. Obviously, if you have 10 players in your team or 11, we want to give out, you know, 2 or 3 medals some weeks. Main thing, honestly, have fun out there. That's really at the end of the day. If you guys are leaving happy, your kids are leaving with smiles on their face, we're doing our job. That's all we ask, you know. Have a good time out there, that's what it's about. And then the parent communication, you know, we really don't ask too much of you guys with this. You can do as little or as much as you want. At the very least, we ask that you do contact the parents by next Wednesday on your roster. Just reach out on that first email that told you that the rosters are elevated. You should have saw a PDF. You guys, if you don't have time to make a phone call, just click on that PDF, download it, copy and paste it to an email, change the stuff that's highlighted in red, like your name, your email, your phone number, and send that off to the players on your team. We have a messaging system you might have noticed on the website that you can email the team. It's not that reliable. A lot of times that mail goes right into the spam folder and they never see it. So if you're wondering why no one's responding to you and you're using that system, it's not that great. Send it from your regular email to ensure that they get it. But if you can, we recommend the phone calls. Hearing your voice and, you know, putting a voice to the name on opening day goes a long way. So if you have time, definitely recommend that. We've had some coaches, you know, whose spouse wanted to help them out or whatnot, husband-wife combos. You know, they maybe send an email to the parents each week, kind of letting them know who we're playing the next week, what color jersey we are, who's bringing snacks. Maybe, you know, here's a cool picture that I saw. So you can, again, as little as much as you want to do, it's totally fine. at the end of the day, we just like to have good communication, and we're going to do that by our newsletters and things like that. So you can do as little as much as you want for that one. One thing that we like to recommend you guys, if you guys can bring snacks on the first day, it just helps that you guys, sort of set the bar, set the example on, hey parents, I'm bringing snacks this week, but we appreciate it. We have 7 weeks, 6 more weeks left in the program. Sign up for snacks. All they have to do is log on to their schedule, go on the right-hand side, and pick a week to sign up for. So it's always good you guys bring one the first day and say, parents, I brought snacks this week. Make sure you go on your schedule and sign up for a week. We don't expect you guys to bring them each week. It's not fair to you guys, so just make sure everyone's kind of doing their part and bringing snacks for the kids. Waters, sliced fruits, juice boxes, whatnot. Try to make it healthy. Obviously, they're out there burning calories. We don't want to add calories right back on their plates. Respect the fields. If you guys see wrappers and things like that, or the metal wrappers or whatnot, just we'll make sure we get some trash cans out there on the field, and just help us clean up the field. Look out for any lost and found items. If you guys see, a pair of shin guards or a ball or something like that, just turn that into our canopy. We'll take a picture of it for our newsletter and then send it out to the parents so they know that we have it for them. Again, we're pretty active on the social media stuff, so we have a coach Facebook group that you guys might have been invited to. We put up some updates and pictures and different things on there. We put the video, of this recording up there as well. So, if you guys want to tag me or Connor or any of us, we're all kind of connected on Facebook. We like just sharing all that stuff. And that's about it, guys. Any general questions I can answer for you? Cool, so again, Jacob for soccer, Hunter for t-ball, and Alicia, Carey, or myself are here for any other sports. Thanks so much for coming, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys next Saturday. Thank you.